Tonight, pepper spray flying off the shelves, America grows less safe, and a race problem that Democrats want to ignore. Let's check it out. And welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight. This country has a crime problem, and no matter how hard the media tries to hide from it, it is very real. Two senseless murders of Asian American women in the span of less than a month in New York City are forcing a reckoning. The tragic deaths of Christina Lee over the weekend and Michelle Go last month are just two of the worst examples of a plague of crime. The suspects in each case were black men, homeless, who have spent their entire lives committing crime and spreading misery. Men who should have been permanently removed from society years ago. The homeless man accused of murdering 35-year-old Christina Lee on Sunday morning, caught on security video, following her into her Chinatown apartment. He followed her up several flights of stairs at 4 o'clock in the morning. Imagine that level of fear, knowing somebody came in behind you, somebody that doesn't belong there, and just having to wait. I think they walked up 6 flights together with him behind her. 25-year-old Asamad Nash then pushed his way into her apartment as she opened her door and then stabbed her 40 times for no reason. A repeat offender with 5 felonies and 3 criminal cases pending against him, walking around on the street. Known for harassing people at the Chinatown subway station right nearby. He was out free on bail from a previous assault when it happened. Marshall Simon, 61, accused of shoving Michelle Go onto the tracks as a subway train rolled by. He did this for no reason, and right in front of Go's 2 friends, it happened. As they all waited for a train, hanging out together, suddenly Michelle Go was thrown in front of one and smashed. Simon was out on parole for a violent felony. This kind of madness has led to people wanting protection. When crime is this bad, even a police department of 35,000 is not enough. Law-abiding citizens can't own guns in New York City. Of course, liberals have made it illegal to arm yourself for protection, which means only the criminals have guns. Brilliant, right? Once again, you see the truth. Democrats are not looking out for you. They couldn't care less if you are in danger. They prioritize the bottoms of society. They always have. So the New York Post is reporting that pepper spray sales are spiking in New York because people don't have many other options. Several businesses reporting a huge spike in sales. It's gotten so bad, Asian Americans in the suburbs of New York are now avoiding the city. That's how real the problem has become. And of course, the people who caused this don't even care enough to address it honestly. And their excuses for why this is happening in this country are simply insulting.
We've seen this rise, unfortunately, because of hate-filled rhetoric and language around the origins of the pandemic.
The pandemic. And they say this with a straight face because they don't care. If they cared, they would address it. They would fix the problem. But somehow they think you're going to believe that because Donald Trump accurately pointed out where coronavirus came from, that he's responsible for huge spikes in crime against Asian Americans. And the media loves this narrative because it's a double banger. It protects idiotic, crime-friendly liberal policies that they love while also hurting Donald Trump. Remember, this is how it was handled when Trump started identifying where this virus came from.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus?
It comes from China. That's why. It comes from China. I want to be accurate.
It's as simple as that. He's talking about a government that unleashed a virus on the world. Nobody wanted him to say that. In 2021, the anti-Asian hate crimes in this country rose by 339%. I've personally watched the evolution of radical leftism in newsrooms in this country. I've worked for almost every network at this point. They began intentionally hiding the reality of minority crime in this country about 5 to 10 years ago. I was there when it happened. I was working for them when they did it. And they do it every single day. And they're hiding the story of black on Asian crime as well. From a Vox article last year, ultimately, there is a failure to remember what got America to this place of racial hierarchies and lingering black-Asian tensions: white supremacy. Here are some of the atrocities that article attempted to blame on white people. A 61-year-old Filipino man slashed in the face as he rode the New York subway last year. And an 84-year-old Thai immigrant who was killed after being shoved to the ground in San Francisco. The video here, just an old man going for a walk, and there it goes. Shoved to the ground, and he died. Both suspects, black men, but white people were at fault. That's the American media. That's how it works. And we can't forget this one, a brutal attack on a Filipino woman near Times Square last year. Remember this? That's a high-rise luxury building that camera's coming out of. Security guards standing right there. A man kicking a Filipino woman on the ground several times. Security guards just sit there with the popcorn and watch. They eventually mosey on over and close the door. There goes the security guard. Doop-de-doo, gonna just go shut this door. Wonderful people. Police arresting Brandon Elliott, another repeat offender who was released from prison in 2019 on lifetime parole after he was convicted of fatally stabbing his own mom. So he slashed his mom to death. They let him out of prison. He's so dangerous he has to be on lifetime parole, but he's also allowed to walk the streets. Makes a lot of sense. A rare admission from the New York Times actually diagnoses the real problem that we have, defunding police. The policies supposed to help black people are backfiring. No kidding. And more impactful, the general assault on policing by Democrat politicians, marginalizing police in all the communities around this country, allowing our communities to lose respect for police, allowing criminals to walk all over police. Quote, these policies were supposed to help black people, and now they're backfiring. Well, I think anybody with common sense has been saying that for 2 years. Most of the crime that we see in this country is actually black on black. So for almost every single black criminal that Democrats and the left and the media pander to is also a black victim that they fail. But nobody ever thinks about it that way. Major crimes up 42% in New York City. A new Quinnipiac poll showing 74% of New Yorkers consider crime a very serious problem. 65% they worry about being the victim of a crime. On Monday, the mayor here, Eric Adams, called Christina Lee's alleged killer a poster person for a failing system who should have not been on the streets, calling to tweak bail reform in this city. Some common sense is returning. On Sunday, Lee's landlord slammed the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, blaming his policies for his tenant's murder.
We can't protect against monsters like this. No matter how much we invest, it comes down to our elected officials. My grandparents are Chinese immigrants that came from China, that built themselves, that we built up this community. And to see it just get torn down so fast by one district attorney is just heart-wrenching.
The lawyer for a Thai model who was attacked in New York City in the subway back in November is also ripping New York's failed bail reform policies. 23-year-old young lady waiting at the 34th Street Herald Square station for a train back to Queens. A man puts her in a chokehold, throws her to the ground, punches and kicks her several times before stealing her purse. That's what it looks like. Imagine that's your daughter. Photos show her face covered in bruises and blood underneath her nose, near the mouth. How hard is that to look at? Her alleged attacker, Kevin Douglas, a career criminal with 44 prior arrests, was arrested and released that same day for barging into a woman's home in Queens and punching her in the face. Something else.